Yo, what's up guys, it's Talon. Today I'm going to be showing you guys the best bot lane combo in Wild Rift. Now there's a few, different bot lane combos you might consider the best. For me, I'm saying it's Kai'Sa Lulu because it has absolutely absurd scaling, and you're really going to see in this gameplay what I mean by the absurd scaling. But you could also say Caitlyn Melio is maybe the best because of how good their lane phase is, or even things like Lucian Nami because of how strong the lane phase is as well. But the issue with Lucian Nami is it doesn't scale as well into later parts of the game and can get countered by a lot of high range comps and high range bot lanes, which could make the game harder. And for Caitlyn Melio, the scaling just doesn't quite amount to the same that Kai'Sa Lulu does. But I definitely think Caitlyn Melio is a really close second that I would be totally, understanding if someone said that's the strongest bot lane right now. And I'll probably try to get you guys a video on that at some point as well. But you're going to see, I think this video is really going to showcase the strength of Kai'Sa. I think this is the hardest carry that I have had probably in 2 or 3 seasons, and you're gonna watch how bad it starts off. I already make a really dumb mistake and get hooked and have to lose my flash at 40 seconds. I was very tilted in this game, and you're gonna see that I'm gonna continue to be very tilted. Like, I was not having a fun time. We were losing a lot on this day as well, and in the last couple days we kind of been losing a lot, and then yeah, we just keep getting hooked. So you saw, obviously I got hooked by the Blitzcrank there. Lulu gets hooked by the Blitzcrank right after, and we're already pretty much 1 HP, and the lane phase is going very poorly because we both just didn't position very well and got hooked a lot. So we're just very far behind in this lane. Lulu's almost dead. I have no flash, and the game is just overall not going well at all. And then it's just, going very poorly. Our jungler is also pathing away, and then I get hit by a hook. I was shocked that hook hit me, but then I end up, I think, dying here because of that. I thought maybe I can end up blowing up the Varus because I knew I was pretty much dead. And so the game starts off really, really badly, and it's going to continue to go pretty badly, and that's kind of why I want to show you guys how good this combo is, because of some of the things you can do later on, and some of the things that we do is it's pretty absurd, just the overall damage. So what makes this comp so good with Kai'Sa Lulu, really, and what makes it the best bot lane duo, is just the fact that Kai'Sa gives so much attack speed to, or Lulu gives so much attack speed to Kai'Sa with the on-hit build, which we're going for Terminus. Then typically steel caps, but you could also go for damaging boots. And then after those, you're going to go for Runon's Hurricane, Wit's End, Riftmaker, and then Twin Guard. That's usually going to be the build you're going to go with things like Lethal Tempo, Brutal Giant Slayer, Alacrity, and then Bone Plating. That's going to be the most typical rune and build setup you're going to go. You're going to see again here, we try to go help out our Nunu here, but Nunu unfortunately dies too quickly there. And so we're just continuing to get in a really bad spot. But yeah, like with the attack speed bonus from Lulu, the amount of peel that Lulu can have with the Veil, with the ultimate, with the shielding, and then Kai'Sa's absurd mobility and attack speed bonus from the third ability, plus all of the attack speed from the on-hit build, means that as soon as you hit 3 items, even 2 items, you're going to be a complete menace to society with this build. But again, here you see it continues to go really poorly. My Lulu gets hooked again as well. I'm duo with the Lulu, obviously, because I was trying to make a video on like really good bot lane combos, so I was playing duo queue trying to get some of these combos. But yeah, me and the Lulu both get hooked a lot by the Blitz. So the Blitzcrank is a challenger player. She's a streamer, the Blitzcrank as well. Unper is her name, so she's like a really good streamer as well. So we were kind of getting destroyed by her early game. The game was definitely going very bad, and the rest of the lanes were not going well either. My bot lanes, or my top lane's down 500. My mid is down 1200, and we are down about 400 gold as well. So pretty much everyone apart from my jungler is behind in gold right now. So just overall looking very rough, but we do have absurd scaling. We have a lot of frontline here, which makes it really easy for Kai'Sa and Lulu to play later on because of how much frontline we have. So we kind of just need to play some type of comeback angle, which you're going to kind of see. It's still going to continue to go very poorly for a while here. We're now trying to bait out a gank because our jungler is coming. So I'm just like, okay, let me go on to the Varus here. Then I'm going to try to ultimate, W immediately after, and then auto attack. And we do get the kill there. So we start to a little bit get ourselves back in the game with that kill, catching up a bit. The main goal is to try to hit Terminus before you get the first dragon, because then you can get your first ability evolved and be pretty strong at the first dragon fight. So that's usually the goal. But it is kind of an expensive item, so it's not always easy to get if you don't get a kill. But because we did get a kill, we're able to get that there. And sorry as well if my voice cracks at all. I've kind of been sick lately as well, so that's why my voice may sound a bit different. But we even end up getting our back stopped here. So again, the tilt continues when things like this happen where our backs get stopped. And definitely wasn't having a good start to this game. And like I said, we had some rough games earlier on as well, so it was kind of unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, overall, like, Lulu is such a broken support. She makes most hyper carries become completely OP and just make them do absurd damage. The only struggle can sometimes be getting out of the lane phase with certain champions like Kai'Sa, but even Kai'Sa, she doesn't have a bad lane phase necessarily. It's just her short range that is the issue. So if you're able to close the gap, you actually have a lot of burst damage and good trading with your auto Q, your auto W, and then, you know, playing around your passive as well. But the issue can be getting outranged by champions like Varus. I mean, Varus, Blitzcrank are one of the best like laning bot lanes in the game. So it can definitely be hard to get through the early here. But here you can see we're trying to go onto the Varus. We get hooked because, you know, Unper's just kind of cracked on Blitzcrank like that. And so we do get hooked there, and then we end up dying to the E flash from the Camille. I could have flashed. I didn't really expect her to do that. I thought she was just going to EW me, and I was going to wait to to flash her W. But she ended up instantly flashing onto me, which was well played by her. And so we continue to fall behind. We're already behind 3,500 gold at this point in the game. But the main goal is just to get 2-3 items, and you're going to see how if you're just able to hit that certain item spike, it doesn't matter what's going on with the rest of your team. It doesn't matter who's behind, who's ahead. You're going to find a way to do a lot of damage and to be a really useful champion. So the main thing here is we're trying to look for potentially a shutdown or a pick or something, because we're still even gold with the enemy Varus. Because we still did get, you know, I think we got like you know, the kill there, obviously, and Varus hasn't gotten like a bunch of kills on himself. So we're kind of playing around the fact that maybe we can kill this Varus. And so I think we see Blitzcrank rotate here, and so the goal now will be to dive the Varus. Whenever the enemy does rotate like this, it's very important that you take advantage of that rotation and try to dive, or do whatever you can to take advantage of that, whether that's getting plates or other things. So we're going to do that. You're going to see I'm going to try to throw something on him, but then we end up getting ganked by the Jace, and then the Varus ults onto us as well. So here we try to take advantage of the fact that the enemy rotated, but then it turns out that the Jace shows up. So obviously Varus now gets very ahead, and the game is continuing to go, you know, very, very south. We're down now almost 6,000 gold, but probably by the end of the time that we respawn, we will be down 6,000 gold. Camille's on a rampage, and just everything looks pretty hopeless. And at this point, I'm like, okay, let me just at least go see if I can catch a top wave or do something. But then my Galio's going there, so like, okay, now let me go mid wave instead. Basically, the goal is just to cover whatever lane it needs covering, get some gold on myself, and just pray that we can get to that certain item spike. But right now, again, feeling pretty hopeless. We're just kind of waiting for a potential pop-off moment if someone shows up and lets us kill them. So we're just kind of trying to, you know, see if they get greedy or anything like that, which is why we end up going and seeing if we can get a pick topside, or at least if we can catch a wave topside. The main goal is just to see what waves we can catch, you know, can we get any gold, but they end up taking our turrets. So now our top lane turret's already dead, mid lane turret's already dead, and all of the bottom lane plates are gone. So the enemy pretty much got a perfect early game, getting literally every plate on the map. So now again, we're just searching around for gold. Nothing special here. I know, not a very eventful early game, because really, again, the thing you will see with this duo lane comp is just how absurd it can get once you reach your certain power spikes. So now, again, going towards the bot lane, we see the Varus and the Blitzcrank use pretty much everything that they have. So now I'm just like, okay, I can just flash onto the Varus. He has nothing really. I can exhaust him. I'm trying to kite the Blitzcrank hook. We end up getting that kill and getting the Blitzcrank flash out afterwards. Blitz misses the hook, and now as long as we just kite them up here, only one of us will die, and we got the shutdown there, so we're pretty fine with that. Nice ultimate as well by the Maokai, and I believe he does get the kill at the end. The shutdown goes over to my Lulu, which isn't the worst thing ever, because Lulu hitting Ardent Sensor as well is very important for this dual lane. So once you have that Ardent Sensor on Lulu, and you have yourself on 2 or 3 items, you're going to have absurd attack speed, really good damage, and just overall scale super well. Like, you're going to see the value of Runaan's Hurricane, especially in this game on Kai'Sa. It just can get you so many free kills and let you completely pop off in these fights, but we're still, again, just kind of looking to see what kind of outplay we can make. Because gold bounties are up, we want to play for an outer turret, because those are going to be the easiest turrets to take. And as long as we can get some gold bounties on ourselves, we have a small chance at winning, but it still looks very bleak here. And so you see, again, I go towards the top side to try to play around my Maokai, because even though the bot lane's pushing, I'm like, okay, this is probably where we're more likely to get a turret right now, so I'm going to see if I can do anything here. Maybe get myself a free kill. And so we end up going for that, and going for the Yasuo here, trying to get the kill on him, and he makes it out on 1 HP, which made me very frustrated, but he does end up dying to the Maokai ultimate, luckily. We get the kill onto the Blitzcrank as well, and now we're playing around this turret. So this is really like kind of where the comeback starts a little bit. We start getting some gold onto ourselves because of the fact that we played around these gold bounties and we really stacked the lane. Notice how 2 people are stuck bot lane, but we're just like, we don't even need to go to our lane. We're just going to play around the gold bounty, because that's really how we're going to come back. Basically, we get more gold from turrets than they do, so obviously we're going to try to take turrets as much as we can. And I'm going to hit my 2-item spike by pretty much the time that the dragon spawns. So I'm still pretty happy with that. I decide, you know, I can maybe try to end up going into contesting there, but we're probably just going to lose. So maybe if I can get a pick on someone or something like that, or if I can just take jungle camps like this here, that's probably going to be a better option. Getting myself as much gold as possible. Going back to the top lane after, again, the goal is just to get gold into myself so that I can be useful later on. Not really worried about that second dragon. Instead, we want to fight the third dragon because that's really the final fight before the enemy will get soul that we really need to deny, but we want to wait as long as possible to hit our item spikes and become really, really powerful. So we're just continuing to farm up here, and you saw how much gold I got from this play using the dragon as a distraction. I was able to get all of my runons and an additional 500 gold to spend as well when I recall. So overall at this point, still looking bad, but we got our evolve as well. For the evolves, so with this build, you're going to go first ability, then third ability, then second ability for your evolves. And now here again, just seeing if the enemy maybe overextend, if we can at least farm. Maybe we can do something like dodge a Blitzcrank hook with our third ability and then start kiting the enemy. You never really know, but we're obviously we see the Varus here, so we see if we can do anything. I think Wind Wall blocks us there. And still not much that we can do. But now we're going to play around this gold bounty in the bottom lane because we got the one in the top lane already. So I just kind of, again, playing around all these gold bounties, trying to get as much gold in ourselves as possible because we know at some point this is going to absolutely pop off if we get this combo to the right amount of items. And that's kind of where you're going to see, again, the real strength of this dual lane. So I think it's on this wave where we start to kind of fight the enemy. I don't remember 100%. We end up, again, like we said, playing around this turret. Blitzcrank shows up on us, so we try to kite the Blitzcrank there. Dodge their hook, get a bunch of damage onto the Blitzcrank as well. Ult onto them. Third ability with the invisibility. Flash over there. We get the Blitzcrank or the Galio ult onto us, and now we're kiting them under this turret. So again, really nice outplay there by us, using the kiting perfectly. Now we have lethal tempo stacked up. Third ability as well, playing around the invisibility, and we end up killing multiple people there, getting a lot of gold onto ourselves. And now the game is looking winnable. All of a sudden, I'm extremely strong. I'm starting to get towards my third item now. I'm going to have my third item. We're going to get another gold bounty in the bottom lane. And this is really where the game starts to turn around. And you're going to see the power of Kai'Sa afterwards now that we got all this. The Camille even kind of gets greedy there. So we look for another kill onto Camille. We get the Camille. Force out the Blitzcrank flash, and all of a sudden the game looks winnable. Absolutely absurd how quick you can turn a game around with this combo, with these just absurd burst damage that you get. We even take a lot of the enemy jungle camps as well. All of that from one play. Again, just playing around these gold bounties, and now the game is basically even, and we have a fed Kai'Sa Lulu. So at that point, I'm backing on 5,000 gold. Gonna go for Riftmaker after this. I think I buy a Stasis as well to avoid the Camille or anything like that, because obviously Camille jumping onto me can be very scary for me. So I'm just gonna make sure I have some way to avoid that. With all my mobility I have in fights, it's really hard to catch me out as well now with my third ability, invisibility, my ultimate, when I do have flash up, and then stasis as well. So just overall continuing to farm pretty much everything. Notice how I'm taking my teammates jungle camps a lot as well, because I know like I'm kind of the carry of this game. Gonna try to go in onto the Yasuo. We immediately burst him down because we're just that fed. Continuing to focus on getting the gold as well, because hitting that 5-item spike is pretty much like GG at that point. If you get to 5 items on Kai'Sa Lulu, you can almost 1 or 2v5 any fight with your Lulu. If the Lulu does well with the Veils, like mine obviously does, because, you know, I'm playing with a Challenger Enchanter, so they're obviously going to be pretty good at timing those types of things. And then as long as you kite well and you don't get caught out, you're going to be chilling. So we're almost on our 4th item now. That's really the main goal here. And then once we're on 4 items, my burst damage is pretty absurd, because that's the most damage you're getting since you're building Twin Guard last. Immediately get a pick onto the Varus as well. You can use those pretty aggressive ultimates as well because of the fact that you have so many ways to reposition once you get in with your third ability, you know, stasis, all those things again. So I can be pretty aggressive to follow up. And now we just need to find the jungler when they show up to see if we can blow them up. Here, Blitzcrank shows up, and I pretty much just try to one-shot the Blitzcrank. And we do end up killing them just because of that absurd damage as well. And we're kind of fine with flipping it. We do end up getting it. My Runance actually gets the smite there, and then we end up getting a double kill. So now we're on Riftmaker. We got Baron. Mega Fed, gonna immediately go for turrets now because multiple people are dead. So we're gonna even go for the dive onto the Yasuo here. Gonna flash for the Yasuo, and then we will kill him in a second there. So again, just absurd how fast we turn this game around, and this is really what this combo can do for you guys. I mean, Lulu as a champion is just so broken. And then Kai'Sa, in my opinion, is overall the second best ADC in the game right now. You can even see we're just trying to catch people out extremely quickly like that. I got a little greedy here, to be honest. I should have probably immediately gone for Dragon and recalled because I'm sitting on 4,000 gold. But because I am so far ahead, it doesn't matter too much, you know, if I spend all my gold immediately, though it's still ideal to spend it as soon as I can. And then we just obviously get the Dragon here, pretty straightforward. At this point, I still have to play really well because I am the only one with gold. So if I do make one int or one mistake, the game could turn extremely fast. And that's kind of what you have to do once you're playing against a fed AD carry. When your team is ahead, or like, you know, otherwise, you're pretty much just targeting that AD carry as much as you can in team fights. And that's really all that should matter to you. So that's what the enemy definitely need to be doing, is just finding a way to somehow kill me. But it's obviously very hard when you have so many ways to escape. That's really what makes it so difficult playing this combo. I have the Veil as well alongside all of my mobility to protect me from the Lulu, the ultimate, like I said. And so it pretty much feels impossible to kill me no matter what I do. You're going to even see me go pretty aggressive later on with an ultimate, and nothing's really going to be able to happen to me. So here we just get the turret. We're continuing to push our lead, and then I'm on 5 items, so whenever I can recall, I would love to. I'm also scared of that bot lane push, so I'm trying to get my team to notice that. But obviously, I don't really want to be the one recalling since I am so strong. I'm really useful on the siege. But because my team wouldn't recall, I'm like, okay, I kind of got to just go there. Maybe I can get a pick onto him, find something. Maybe we get him, and then we turn it around, but probably not going to happen, so we're just going to push out the wave. When you are kind of the, you know, soul carry of your team, you kind of need to do everything for them. So you're going to have to sometimes push out these waves as well. And then my team ends up breaking out into a fight. So we get there a bit late, but we do look for an ultimate in because I am so strong. We end up getting that kill there and then just kiting nicely here. Just pretty easy pick there again. My champion can pretty much engage from wherever. Your ult range is very, very long, so that's always really nice as well. You can see how aggressively I know I can go in here, even though I am an AD carry, just because Kai'Sa kind of has those types of limits. We dodge the Blitzcrank hook as well, and then just get absurd damage. Unfortunately, the Lulu ult is a little late, so we're not really, like, you know, getting much value from that, but Lulu ult's pretty low cooldown at that point, so it doesn't really matter overall. We'll probably have it up by the next fight, so we don't really care, like I said. And then Guardian Angel to me kind of ended up feeling like a better item because I do have the enemy is mostly AD, but I did end up just sticking with Twin Guard. But yeah, in hindsight, I think GA could have been a better last item, so that's maybe something I would have changed with my build. But overall, you know, this build is really consistent, really strong pretty much every game. Because the nice thing about Kai'Sa too is you can't really itemize against her. If you're going this build, you have AP from Riftmaker, you have the AP damage from Wits End, you have a bunch of attack speed for your AD, so you're doing pretty much mixed damage. Your passive is going to be AP, obviously your autos and everything is going to be AD, so you're really doing both types of damage, which obviously is just extremely hard to itemize against because now you need like mixed resistance items, and you just don't get as much value if you like stacking armor or stacking MR against other champs. And this is where we go in pretty extremely aggressive, and you might think it's a mistake, but look how much time I buy here. I get the Lulu ultimate, I get everything out, and then we're able to just blow up the enemy here. We kill the Blitzcrank right after as well. And those are the types of things you can do with this champion. Again, you can go into 3 people when you're this fed with your Runaunts, and as long as you have a stasis up or something to buy time, you're going to be completely fine like I was there. So I buy a lot of time there. We end up getting a kill on the enemy, and then we go for the Blitzcrank right after we exhaust, or the Yasuo right after we exhaust him, and then we get another free kill there. So just absurdly insane gameplay here at this point. 15-4, pretty much solo carrying what looked like an unwinnable game, which again is exactly what you can do with this combo. So now we want to force a Baron or an Elder. Typically, it's best to get the Elder Dragon first and then Baron after, because you can use the Elder Dragon to get the Baron, and because we have a Nunu, Nunu's going to smite that really well, so shout out to Nunu there. Going for some more picks, we get ourselves ulting straight in, and then look at this snipe. I was so close to killing the Jace there, like one more auto attack on him and he would have died to my Elder Dragon. But either way, we're able to force the Baron here and then kind of get a straightforward end from there. So that is really the power of Kai'Sa Lulu, like I said. I even want to show you guys the end when we're ending. It's really funny how much damage my champion can do to the team when they're in their base. But yeah, just the burst damage, absolutely insane. Let me know what bot lane combos you think are the best, or what ones you want to see as well. If you're interested in any like specific bot lane combo, let me know like what that combo is, or what you think the strongest combo is, because I know there is, you know, definitely debate you could have between what is the strongest. I think Caitlyn Melio, again, for me, very close second. I can see people saying that. Some combos with Varus too. I mean, Varus is really strong with most combos, but I feel like he doesn't have any one OP combo the same way as these other champs, because he's not as insane with enchanters in comparison to something like Kai'Sa. He's more of a versatile champion who can kind of be more self-sufficient. So even though Varus is kind of the best ADC right now, he doesn't really have the best combo. He just has a lot of consistent combos with pretty much everything, which is kind of where the difference comes. And so here we're trying to make sure everything's pushed as well, because we just want to get a pretty clean end where multiple lanes are pushing at the same time, so the enemy can't really defend very well. That's why we get a nice Maokai ultimate to just pressure the turret then. So well played by Maokai there. We want to make sure we can get bot lane or top lane pushing as well. So we're going to look for one of those there. I dodged the Blitzcrank hook. That could have maybe been dangerous, but I do have stasis ultimate from Lulu, my own ultimate, everything. And then, yeah, you're going to see the absurd damage even once the enemy are in base, which is really funny when you're on a 5-item spike, where we just pretty much one-shot everyone under here. Very absurd, honestly. Like, so much damage. And then we do get hooked in, but we get the stasis off. And so that was pretty absurd. I want to show the stats kind of from this game. I want to see if I can show you guys the damage dealt, which was absolutely absurd as well. Then we'll end the video there. If you guys don't know, I do coaching for $15 an hour as well. Link in the description to that. And I have memberships on my YouTube channel for $5 a month where you get access to my coaching notes. You get access to videos early and some other small perks, which I think are pretty cool. But we'll show you guys 50% damage, 72,000 damage. Absolutely absurd damage from this comp. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.